Can a city truly thrive when so many of its citizens are without a home? In Wichita, Kansas, a proud symbol of America's heartland homelessness looms large, overshadowing our collective dreams of progress and unity. This issue affecting veterans' families and countless others is more than just a statistic. It's a stark reminder of the human toll of neglect and the urgent need for change.
It's been a rough life. I've been homeless for 2 years now. I have to figure where to go eat, where to stay. Sometimes I sleep under bridges. It's not fun.
Wichita finds itself at a pivotal moment where resilience meets the pressing need for solutions to an escalating crisis that mirrors the larger issue of homelessness in America. Join us as we explore the realities, underlying causes, and bold actions that lie ahead. If this message speaks to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video to engage in the conversation about solutions to homelessness in America. The harsh reality of homelessness in Wichita. The figures hit hard like a chilling breeze. In January 2025, more than 130 volunteers braved freezing temperatures for the point-in-time pit count, uncovering 736 individuals without homes in Wichita and Sedgwick County. Out of those, 541 found temporary shelter in shelters or transitional housing, while others struggled to survive in places that no one should have to endure on the streets in cars or makeshift camps. This marks an increase from 691 in 2024, reflecting a broader surge in homelessness in America. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Picture a veteran in his 50s grappling with PTSD, seeking refuge in a winter shelter. His experience mirrors that of countless others in Wichita's downtown and historic Midtown, where encampments like Sim Park, which attracted 16 complaints in 2025, fuel local tensions. These camps, born from sheer necessity, raise difficult questions about safety and cleanliness for residents. How can we balance compassion for the homeless with the needs of the wider community? It's a fine line to navigate. The Coalition to End Homelessness, led by United Way of the Plains, is taking action, assisting 1,407 individuals into permanent housing in 2025, 41 more than the previous year. Yet the rise in homelessness signals deeper systemic issues. Wichita's struggle mirrors a broader crisis of homelessness in America, where broken systems, not just personal misfortune, continue to trap people. The opioid crisis, especially fentanyl, fuels the fire, making recovery and stability seem out of reach. This issue goes beyond numbers. It's about real people who have fallen through the cracks. From veterans dealing with invisible wounds to families caught in difficult circumstances, the human cost is undeniable. Wichita stands at a crossroads. Quick fixes won't suffice. What will it take to address the root causes and offer everyone a fair chance? By confronting systemic failures and factors like addiction, the city can pave the way forward. The work is underway, but it's a long journey to ensure no one is left out in the cold. The fentanyl crisis, a devastating driver of homelessness. In Wichita, fentanyl is causing devastation, becoming a significant catalyst in the city's homelessness crisis. This inexpensive, potent synthetic opioid has spread across the country, and Wichita is feeling the painful effects. In 2024, Sedgwick County recorded over 100 fentanyl-related deaths, with a significant number involving people living on the streets. Its low price and highly addictive nature pull individuals into a vicious cycle, making the dream of stability seem like an elusive mirage for those already struggling to survive.
Gotten a lot more dangerous than it was than when I first came out here. It's a lot younger people, drugs, gangs.
The impact of
around
fentanyl
3
is
o'clock.
overwhelming. For people already dealing with poverty or mental health issues, this drug can be the final blow, pushing them into homelessness. Once addicted individuals face deteriorating health, a constant risk of overdose, and enormous challenges in rebuilding their lives. Shelters and service providers are overburdened, unable to adequately meet the skyrocketing demand for addiction treatment. Organizations like ComCare and Hunter Health offer recovery programs, but they are barely managing with limited resources, leaving many without the help they need. How can Wichita break this destructive cycle when support systems are stretched to their limits? The consequences are felt across the entire community. Emergency rooms in Wichita are overwhelmed with overdose cases, creating mounting costs about $10,000 per visit on average. For those without homes, fentanyl addiction often leads them to prioritize the next dose over finding shelter or work, trapping them in a cycle of hopelessness. It's a harsh reality. Addiction drives homelessness. Homelessness makes breaking free from addiction feel impossible. Confronting this head-on is no easy task, but it's a fight Wichita cannot afford to ignore. The way forward lies in expanding access to treatment and linking it with housing solutions. Programs like Second Light, which we'll discuss later, are stepping up to address both addiction and homelessness simultaneously. For now, one thing is clear: Wichita won't make a dent in homelessness in America without tackling the fentanyl epidemic head-on. This issue isn't just about saving lives. It's about giving people a real chance to rebuild their future. Root causes: unraveling the complexity of homelessness. Homelessness in Wichita isn't a straightforward issue. It's a tangled web of systemic failures that demands careful examination. At its heart, economic instability drives much of the crisis. Across the United States, affordable housing is disappearing, and Wichita is no exception. With rents rising faster than wages, approximately 15% of the city's population lives below the poverty line, struggling to stay afloat. For those getting by on low wages or fixed incomes, a single setback, a car repair, a job loss, or an unexpected rent increase can push them over the edge into homelessness. It's a harsh reality that strikes without warning. Mental health issues worsen the situation. An estimated 30 to 40% of Wichita's homeless population battles conditions like anxiety, bipolar disorder, or severe mental illnesses. Yet obtaining consistent care is a distant hope for many. Overburdened clinics and underfunded programs result in long waiting lists and limited availability, leaving people stranded. Without proper support, some turn to substances like alcohol or opioids to cope, spiraling deeper into a cycle that's nearly impossible to break. How can we rebuild a system that's failing those who need it most? Social inequalities add another layer of difficulty. Housing discrimination keeps vulnerable groups, racial minorities, LGBTQ+ individuals out, making it harder to find stable housing. Then there's the catch-22 of lacking identification. Without a state ID or social security card common among those on the streets, tasks like opening a bank account, getting hired, or renting a place feel out of reach. These obstacles, poverty, mental health gaps, and systemic bias, create barriers to opportunity maintaining homelessness in America, including Wichita, as a persistent issue. The stakes are high. Addressing these root causes while tackling immediate needs is no easy task. Wichita's struggle mirrors a national crisis where homelessness in America reflects not just individual misfortune, but fractured systems that allow the most vulnerable to slip through the cracks. What will it take to build a safety net that catches everyone? The way forward lies in innovative programs and collective action, which we'll dive into next. By addressing these underlying causes head-on, Wichita can create solutions that don't just put a temporary fix on the problem, but build a foundation for lasting change. Innovative solutions, Wichita's response to the crisis. Despite the overwhelming challenges of homelessness in Wichita, the city has responded with a range of innovative programs that provide hope and practical solutions. At the forefront is the Second Light Initiative, a groundbreaking project launched in May 2025. Housed in the refurbished Park Elementary School, Second Light is poised to become a comprehensive center for tackling homelessness by the end of 2025. With $6.3 million designated for renovations and $5 million allocated for operations, primarily funded through the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, and public-private collaborations, this facility will offer shelter food, medical care, mental health services, addiction treatment, and pathways to permanent housing. By consolidating services in one location, Second Light aims to streamline care, ensuring that individuals like the veteran dealing with PTSD can receive holistic support without navigating a fragmented system. The involvement of organizations such as Humankind Ministries, Lord's Diner, Hunter Health, and Sedgwick County's ComCare highlights the collaborative effort driving this initiative. Another vital program is the Homeless Outreach Team HOT, designed to divert individuals from the criminal justice system and connect them to support services. When 911 calls involve homeless individuals, HOT steps in to offer shelter, medical care, or addiction treatment instead of arrest, reducing unnecessary incarceration and addressing the underlying issues. This strategy not only saves public resources, but also humanizes the response to homelessness, acknowledging that jail is rarely the answer for those already marginalized. The Housing First model has also gained momentum in Wichita, providing permanent housing without prerequisites followed by personalized support services. In 2025, the Coalition to End Homelessness reported placing 10407 individuals in permanent housing, marking an increase of 41 people from 2024. This program prioritizes stability, recognizing that a secure home is the cornerstone for addressing mental health addiction or employment struggles. Additionally, the Homeless Prevention Program, run by organizations like the Center of Hope, provides financial assistance to prevent evictions or utility shutoffs, stopping homelessness before it starts. These efforts represent a shift toward proactive, compassionate solutions, offering a model for addressing homelessness in America. Municipal IDs, known as the Air Capital Card, are another innovative step forward. Set to launch in 2025, this program will provide identification to homeless individuals, granting access to jobs, banking, and services without the hurdle of lost or missing documents. For many, this simple card could be the key to breaking the cycle of homelessness. Together, these initiatives demonstrate Wichita's dedication to tackling the crisis with creativity and compassion, though their success relies on continued funding and community backing. Economic and social impacts. The ripple effects of homelessness. Homelessness in Wichita doesn't only affect those without homes. It sends ripples through the city's economy and social structure, impacting everyone in ways that demand attention. A 2025 study from Wichita State University's Center for Public Policy and Management estimates that the crisis costs the city $20.2 million each year. This includes substantial expenses for emergency room visits, averaging $10,000 each for untreated health issues or overdoses, and law enforcement time spent addressing complaints about encampments or minor survival-related offenses like trespassing. When people are trapped in instability, unable to enter the workforce, the city loses out on their potential, leading to economic losses that affect everyone. On the social front, homelessness weakens the bonds that hold Wichita together. In 2025, neighborhoods like Sim Park experienced 16 complaints from residents about encampments where those with no other options set up shelter. These areas raise legitimate concerns about public safety, sanitation, and declining property values, creating tension between empathy for the homeless and the desire for well-kept neighborhoods. How can Wichita honor the dignity of those in need while ensuring residents feel safe? These encampments, often the last resort, spark debates that challenge the city's unity and shared values. However, hope is still within reach. Wichita can take inspiration from places like Bergen County, New Jersey, which achieved functional zero homelessness for veterans and chronic cases by prioritizing streamlined services and housing solutions. By adopting similar approaches, Wichita could ease the burden on its budget and rebuild community trust. Initiatives like Second Light and the Homeless Outreach Team HOT are already making progress, reducing visible homelessness while guiding individuals towards stability through targeted support. The road ahead is challenging but not unachievable. Addressing homelessness in America, including in Wichita, requires continued investment in affordable housing, healthcare, and addiction recovery programs, particularly in response to the devastating opioid crisis. Policies that address systemic barriers, such as unequal access to opportunities, must also be prioritized. What will it take to create a city where no one is left behind? By tackling these issues with bold action, Wichita can pave the way for a stronger, more inclusive community where everyone has the chance to build a stable life and no one has to face the cold alone. Community and government action, a call to collaborate. Addressing homelessness in Wichita requires a collective effort with residents, organizations, and government working hand in hand to make a change. For everyday citizens, there are plenty of ways to get involved. The Coalition to End Homelessness, found at unitedwayplains.org, is seeking volunteers to assist with outreach, data collection, or direct aid. Donations to organizations like Center of Hope or Humankind Ministries help keep shelters operating, provide food for those in need, and support vital prevention programs. Additionally, free training at homelesstraining.com teaches de-escalation techniques, allowing people to connect with the homeless in a compassionate and effective way. These small actions can create a ripple effect, transforming lives one step at a time. On the government side, Wichita is stepping up with bold initiatives. The Air Capital Card program, launching in 2025, will provide homeless individuals with identification, opening doors to jobs, banking, and services, real tools for rebuilding their lives. Federal support, such as the $3.6 billion allocated by HUD in 2025 for continuum of care programs across the country, injects valuable resources into local efforts. However, long-term success will require a stronger focus on affordable housing and mental health services. The city's homelessness task force meeting regularly at places like the Advanced Learning Library ensures collaboration between agencies and community partners to address root causes while meeting immediate needs. The fight against homelessness in America, including in Wichita, demands more than just hands-on efforts. It requires advocacy. What can you do to advocate for policies that prioritize housing and addiction recovery? Pushing policymakers to focus on affordable housing and fentanyl recovery programs is critical. By learning from successful models and leveraging public-private partnerships, Wichita can create a roadmap for lasting change. Each donation, volunteer hour, or call to a policymaker brings us closer to a future where no one has to sleep on the streets. Conclusion: a vision for a homeless-free Wichita. As we consider the current state of homelessness in Wichita, the difficulties are clear, yet the city's response provides a glimmer of hope. From the transformative promise of Second Light to the compassionate efforts of the homeless outreach team, Wichita is carving out a path towards solutions that prioritize dignity and stability. While the fentanyl crisis, economic challenges, and social inequalities contribute to the problem through united action, the city can break this cycle. Join us in this mission. Subscribe, comment, and share to raise awareness and inspire change. Together we can envision a Wichita where everyone has a place to call home, a